Yesterday, the FA updated on the inclusion and anti-discrimination plan that has been long in the making. As part of that, sanctioning was brought to the fore, and the FA announced a minimum floor of 5 matches, plus education, plus possible club sanctions. Could you just tell us a little bit about the direction of travel now for discrimination sanctions in England?
Yeah, well, let's focus on the sanctions thing first, because there's much more to our package than sanctions, but clearly the sanctions element is very important and it's attracted a lot of publicity. What we've come to, and this is a result of considerable consultation right across the board with all the major bodies in English football, including Kick It Out, is that for an aggravated offence, in other words, someone that includes any sort of racial or other discriminatory element, there will be a minimum of 5 matches. I want to emphasise that is a minimum, because some people don't seem to want to understand that and take it as being a number. But what we've come up with is something that's got flexibility and will take account of aggravating factors. So that if something is repeated, or if somebody does an offence more than once, or all sorts of other things, lack of contrition, all those could lead to an increase, and maybe a substantial increase in the number of games. So I would just ask that people don't get over-focused on the one number. That's a base and will be undoubtedly increased when circumstances allow. I think to do anything less flexible than that and just have a number, irrespective of the circumstances, would just be unjust. It would not be proper justice. And as far as I know, in law generally, there's always a degree of flexibility in sentencing to make sure that the sentence fits the crime or the offence, and that's what we've done here. I'm perfectly pleased with what we've done. I know it doesn't please everybody, but I'm very comfortable with what we've done.
You talked of the consultative approach that's been taken. Who would the FA have consulted with in this process?
They consulted with the Premier League, the Football League, the PFA, the LMA, Kick It Out, with individual players and others. I haven't personally been doing that process, but it was a wide consultation. And at the end of the day, not just for the sanctions element, but for the whole of this programme, which has scores of recommendations, we've got sign-off from all these bodies, physical sign-off from all these bodies. So we've got the backing of the whole of English football, and that's not easily got. And when you get it, you can't sort of go around changing elements of it just like that. It's something it's a serious business. We've arrived at, I think, at a very good conclusion. Doesn't mean that's as it is forever, and down the road it may be that things will change further. But for the moment, I think we've got a good package together, of which a good, I believe, 2/3 is already in the course of being implemented.
In terms of discrimination, it's wider than just racial abuse, of course, as well.
It is. It deals with homophobia, it deals with anti-Semitism, deals with all the isms. So it's not, it's not just racism. I mean, racism gets a focus, and understandably, but no, it's to deal with a wide range of offences.
And education is one of the new core elements.
It is education, and also within there something that when I spoke to a lot of players, one of the things that came through consistently from them was that if they suffer issues with regard to abuse, etc., that they can report these things in a confidential manner and in a manner which gives them confidence. And I believe that over a course of time, it won't happen overnight because it's quite a lot to do. We will have that sort of reporting system in place, not just for the professional game, but right across the national game. So, because after all, these offences can take place in the park or in all sorts of areas. It's not just necessarily in at the top of the game these things happen.
How important has this agenda been to you, or how important has it become over recent times?
I think it's gradually emerged to be probably the most important thing that I've had to deal with. I mean, we've had this request from the Prime Minister, which led to this report and the work we're talking about. We've had individual incidents that have been very difficult to deal with and have dominated the headlines. So one way or another, I think this is very much at the top of my agenda, and I really hope that after I've left the FA, this will carry on and be developed by others. I'm sure it will be.